Welcome, welcome, everybody. Let me just adjust. I was using my computer differently for meetings, so we weren't quite at our normal setup. Moonlight, good to see you. Welcome. Software got updated today. I mean, a couple of just small things, but we can now see the number of players in here. So I'm going to hop in the 5, knowing it's going to get started. But yeah, throw your questions in chat. Assuming you have been watching some of these streams, you know that I eager to answer all your questions. So now's a good opportunity to ask any burning questions you got. I'm going to look at. So I tweeted earlier about the Rakeback system here, and I was responding to some earlier, but then I was in 6 hours of meetings. So it's interesting. So I tweeted like I know it's not called tweeting anymore, but it is. I posted about this. Like I made a really long post kind of detailing the entire thing. This is also reflected on the BetRivers website. And I don't know, the X algorithm has changed. Posts like that people used to really like, but now I think nobody has the attention span, which is too bad for me because I like to write really long things. But so I just made a quick post today, and people are a lot more interested. But I have not had time to respond to everybody. So while you all filter in and start asking questions, I might address some of these ones. Maybe by talking, but probably by just responding to them. King Jack, let's just check back. Actually, I'm not going to type responses to people while I'm playing. Anyway, we'll bet here. And it looks like a couple of you have already asked some questions, so awesome. We can talk. So, Broke DGen, good to see you. I saw him going live on these recently, but I was busy during that time. Glad to catch this one. I watched that whole documentary. They just did every second. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, that very interesting river action. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm beat, but this is so bizarre. How am I not beat though? I don't know. Because he check called turn. Sorry. I mean, my default is, I guess, a little bit sexist. Because most poker players are male. But she check called turn. I don't think she's going to turn a 6 or a 10 into a bluff. So I need it to be king, queen, or ace high, or I don't know. And then those don't do it always. So I guess just make fold. Nathan, I never gave up poker due to me, one of the good guys. I appreciate that. Also, some people should give up poker. Well, as a profession. Well, or in general, if they have a gambling problem. So I certainly don't want the universal message to be never give up because you're going to make it. Because it takes a lot to make it at poker. But I'm glad that, I wonder how I inspired you to never give up because I don't want to do that irresponsibly, is I guess the point that I'm trying to make. We're now facing the overbet. I'm going to fold. Ready, good to see you. Welcome. Nathan, thanks for saying hey to everybody. I like the positivity and good vibes in chat. And my master likes the updates. Yeah, I actually don't know what's included. I just know that they changed this. I don't think it's a lot of big things, but we'll see. If we notice anything else. Got one player in the 25 cent. Let's join them. or her, excuse me. Opening to 3x, not good. So if one of my opponents is watching, open to closer to 2x, 2.5x, unless you're at shoving stacks. Broke degen, nice. Oh, I believe it. Stundan, I appreciate that. I do try to answer with honesty, transparency, integrity. Those are some of my values, and I'm sure I fail sometimes, but doing my best. I appreciate your appreciation of it. Nathan, are you playing No Limit Hold'em or Pot Limit Omaha? Red bar. I normally don't like all caps, but I enjoyed that. So I'm glad that you're watching. Queen 7, I guess we're folding. I would like to get sit and goes going today. It's kind of tough to do. The I was talking with the team about this today, but sit and goes are slower to form than our cash game traffic has been pretty good off the bat, and sit and goes have been a little bit slower, and they kind of take. If you join a sit and go and you're just like waiting around for a while like this, a lot of players have come over from casino and sat in sit and goes, it seems, and then got bored and left. And so we've been actually, unfortunately, missed some good opportunities by not having enough traffic waiting at these hyper turbo lottery sit and goes. God, it's such a pretty animation though. That's what counts. Stunned, and the delay is, I think it's 200 seconds. So that's just over, it's just under 3.5 minutes. Broke Degen, thank you for the support. I'm glad you enjoyed the challenge, presumably, if you watched every second of it. And the coverage in the docuseries. Stun Dan. Which of us sounded flirtatious? You or me? I'll set another $5 too. All right, y'all. If you're watching, my dream would be for us to just grind a bunch of spins today while I answer questions. At least that's my current dream in the moment. So I'm sitting at a $5 and a 25-cent. Need one more for the $5. I mean, by the time that you are seeing this, maybe we'll be full, but then I'll sit in another one. Yeah, bro, it can't be Xing. Liam, as far as specific rake structures, I think it depends. It always, well, not always depends. There are some that are just unbeatable, but generally depends and on quality of game. But as you know, if you've been following our approach here, I believe that less rake is better, more rakeback is better, and I'm trying to make as close to what's as close to rake-free poker. I can't talk. What's as close to rake-free poker as possible, viable with our plans here at BetRivers. We're doing our best, and all right, we got the $5 going. I'll still be sitting at the 25-cent for now. Next, we're gonna try to show down King 6. More hockey cards, please. I know that the specifics. So I don't know the answer to that question right now. I know that that's the intent and goal. I'm not sure if it exists now or where it is, if so, as we hold against ace king offsuit. Okay, we've got the 25 cent running as well. I guess, why not? Let's switch to the 4 table view. I'll sit another $5. But yeah, the right now, kind of, we're getting the word out about the giving all the rake away as a general structure, and the specific details are, well, some exist, but more are coming, and the tracking for it, if it is not available yet, so like this time around compared to last time, I'm a lot more involved in I'm just as involved in kind of policy features promotion, but less involved in the nitty gritty of, for example, knowing exactly where development is on, um, listing, or rather a place where you can see your rate contributed. But the goal is to make it very transparent. As we face the 3x raise, I mean, it's weird. I'm just going to call, take it from there, and I guess I'm check folding this flop. Meanwhile, I guess I just rip this in with a 10. I mean, it's maybe a little silly. No, I guess I get called by that. Usually when somebody check raises this flop and checks the turn, they're check folding with no equity. So maybe that was a mistake and I should have checked back. As it turned out, my opponent had the right hand for me to make that play. I'm going to shove 9-6 and hope it gets through. Not going to win that one, unfortunately. And nothing for us for second place. We'll hop another 5. Tass, I don't know my number of my biggest buy-in and downswings, or sorry, my biggest downswing and buy-ins. I've been on calls all day after not a lot of sleep. EKW, yes, one of the other things that's in the works. There's there is a long list of improvements that we would like made to the platform. It's a great platform already, but it's going to get better and better every couple weeks, or I should at least say every month, but probably every couple weeks, as more and more of the kind of features we designed come out. Appreciate that, Brooke, P-Chen. As we fold Jack 4, I guess I don't bluff Jack 3. Maybe if we're going to be getting some questions, maybe I will. PLO's Hertz says cheers, cheers. Yeah, I don't know my biggest ever downswing in buy-ins. Probably, I can't even guess very effectively as we shove King Queen. Bet Queen 7. We got some blockers like 2 straight draws that might come in. Do I play any private home games, cash games? No, I don't. I don't get invited, unfortunately. Nobody likes me. 4s will rip on in. Brian asked if I could talk to my younger self when I first got into poker. What piece of advice would I give myself? What piece of advice would you give yourself when you first started your business? Big questions, great questions, but both pretty big. Yellow, good luck. In To answer succinctly, in both, I would say seek mentors. So whether that be coaches or, coaches, other types of mentors, peers to work with, but just learning from others is such a huge hack, both in poker and in business. And I guess the advice when starting in business is like, remember how, I guess I'm folding. I don't know why I believe his big sizing. So some people, when they go from poker to business, think, I have no idea what I'm doing. This is a totally different thing. Other people say, well, I succeeded at poker, so this should be easy. I should be good at this. And the truth is kind of in between. I think the truth for most people is that if you are skilled at poker and have made a successful living playing poker, then you're very capable of making a good living in business. However, remember how long it took you to get an expert level at poker. You're not going to be good at business overnight. And much in the same way that in poker, someone can learn the rules and feel like they know what they're doing because, like, okay, I know all the rules. I know what a good hand is. I know pot odds. And then they think they know how to play. The same can happen in business where a lot of things feel like common sense, like you're just making common sense decisions with the same kind of logic and aptitude that you used in poker. But there's just more to it, and there's no substitute for experience. I'm going to check aces. It's weird to block all the aces on a board like this. It is only in Pennsylvania right now. Thank you for answering, Moonlight. Simon says, Phil, do you think running ads on sites like GG Poker would work because the rake in 25 NL is eating me up? 12 advising rake. That's 30. What do you mean by running ads on it? I'm not sure what you mean. Part of my stress is that he said nice hand. I had to say thank you before I timed out everywhere. Maybe because I want to talk to you all and I put AMA in the title. We should stick to two tables. So I think after I bust one of these, I'm going to go back to two tables because I'm just realizing, especially given that I'm a little fatigued, like my brain's not ready to handle all the tables and all your questions. Nine's going to hold up there as planned. Moonlight Master, thanks for fielding those questions. Anthony, I appreciate you being here. 60. Win. Marcus, at least you get the cool animation when you lose, sit and go. It's more than that. When you lose, you actually have a chance at winning what we call the glitch prize. So normally when you get third place or second place, you get nothing. There is an opportunity to win, as you'll see next time I bust out one of these. All in with ace queen. We were ahead. We got some outs. We didn't get there. Okay. Still alive. Ace three all in. We were ahead. We're behind. Had some outs. Didn't get there. And so we'll see here. You'll see that to varying degrees, there'll be a little bit of a glitch. And sometimes the glitch sticks and you win some money. That's actually happened to me a lot. An abnormal amount so far. I switched to two table view. Maybe I should, yeah, let's make these a little smaller. Call the check raise with trips top kicker. I don't think there's a reason to fast play. Just keeping his bluffs, which I think he's going to have plenty of. Ace 5, we lose to Jack 5. It's okay. It is poker. Still not going to fold. Do I raise? No. Let's just keep in his bluffs. Obviously, if a diamond rolls off on the river, we're pretty uncomfortable, but as is, we're looking to get the money in. And we lose to the flush draw, nice hand, nice hand. And we're probably going to get another opportunity at a glitch prize, which is, you know, the optimistic way to look at it. Traffic's been all right at cash games. Actually, like, so True Birds fan, I was just going over traffic with the team today. I don't know how much they want me to say, but I'm sometimes a little too transparent and they know that. So, you know, kind of on them. We've had more unique players than I thought we would have. But we've actually had fewer hands played. So what that means is we actually have a lot more recreational players than expected. Because we have people who are one tabling, people who are, you know, not playing as much volume, but more of them. So the fact that we have like a decent amount more players than I would have expected at this point already, but a decent amount less total hands played. It's interesting. The grinders are not moving over. And this is kind of what we experienced as Run It Once Poker Rest of World, where people were like, A, it was, you know, I'll wait until you have more traffic. B, you know, I'll wait until my table manager supports you, but I can't play without a table manager. I can't play without this feature that I'm used to, or I you know, it's just different than the software I'm used to, so I don't want to make a change. Professionals are a lot more, surprisingly these days. It wasn't this way 15 years ago. I'm not saying it's bad or good, but it surprised me the first time around. Professionals are a lot more rigid in what they expect, and they get a little more nervous. So when a site is new, if you're professional, this is like your livelihood. And so, you know, playing it, if you have a proven win rate, even if it's not that high somewhere else, even though these games may be softer, even though we're giving out more Rakeback, even though there's more overlay, there's still just more uncertainty. And the uncertainty scares some people. And they're like, you know what? You know, several months from now, when I've heard from other like friends who have tried it and see that they're beating the games over a big sample, maybe when they have support for X, Y, and Z. So there's just a lot of waiting from pros. And I like didn't expect it when we launched 5 years ago, Rest of World. I learned and I kind of expected it this time, but actually kind of for that reason, like we don't have Splash the Pot right now, which was a feature that scared a lot of professionals away. It really just is. There's a lot of, I think there's a lot of resistance to change. So yeah, the traffic has been decent. But there's just been a lot less multi-tabling than I expected. Especially given, you know, my brand, and even though this is not Run It Once Poker anymore, the Run It Once brand, the association, you know, you'd expect, a lot of people would expect, oh, it's going to be all pros. And it ends up kind of being the opposite, at least so far. John Beast, thank you very much. Okay, we win. The longer the sweat, the better. That was not a long enough sweat. Still 2.5 times the buy-in. It's not so bad. Not bad at all. Buy into another 5. Kevin E, how did I promote Rio when we first launched it? Well, similar. You know, me streaming, me promoting it. There's a lot of news coverage just because people were excited about the platform. We also had a streamer program where we incentivized people to stream, even if they were not like popular, famous streamers. I had the Jack versus Ace, luckiest trap of my life. Nice. Um, Chabs, do I think my overall monetary return is higher if I focus on business or poker at this point? At this point, business, not because, not for any other reason than that I don't have like I don't have options really to play poker. So if I had access to regular games, I think it might be poker, but I don't have access to regular high stakes games. And so business makes more sense for the most part. Feel free to take them up on the street. Okay. Moonlight says, feel free to take them up on stream and answer them regardless. Chat is only going this far. What are you talking about, Moonlight? No, this can't be like the tweets from before, right? Broke Degen says, my question is, after you took that break and then came back and eventually finished off NEVD, how did you just destroy everyone straight through right after that? What was it to you? Was it the study or was it the prep that allowed you to run through every single opponent right away? I mean, to be fair, like I did keep winning, but I didn't really like run through them. Like, Action Freak, I beat by a little bit. Like they were not massive wins or like, crushing decisive wins, but I had the matches where I was giving long odds and I expected to be a favorite in those by a decent amount. I started out with my toughest matches, so I think this is a pretty good jamming hand. Fold out some hands that dominate me. When I can't see the full card villain to the right at Showdown. Interesting. I maybe have adjusted it already, but maybe not. When this table runs, let me know. Yeah, Matthew Green, we're just in Pennsylvania, not in Canada, and we'll expand to more states as we go. Yeah, Broke Degen, I guess, I mean, so what clicked for me was, I had a long, successful career pre-solvers using essentially my strengths were always hand reading and what I'd call like player profiling, getting inside my opponent's heads. And when I started the Veni challenge, I had just for the first time and for months studied with solvers, and I was trying to implement what I had learned. And my thought process while playing was just very much, okay, what would a solver do? What do I think is the optimal play here? What's my strategy? And I wasn't thinking very much about hand reading. I wasn't adapting. I wasn't using my strengths. And after the break, what really clicked for me was, first of all, like a connection between the stuff I'd been learning and practice. So at first, what is it? The 4 stages of competency: unconscious, incompetence, conscious, incompetence, conscious competence, and then unconscious competence. I was in that 3rd stage where at the beginning where like I had learned the solver stuff, I was competent, but it took so much brain power. It was so much effort to implement it. And then when it clicked a little more, it became more automatic, and my brain had the freedom to do all of the cool things that I used to do in poker, which was hand read and make exploitive adjustments. And that's where I think things changed. Also, though, there's a lot of variance in heads-up poker, even over decent-sized samples. True Birds fan, there is an app. Yeah, it's the BetRivers app. Yeah. Ralph says, a typical 2-5 game, how long will you wait to table change or decide if a game is good enough to play in? So there's I don't know the answer from experience. I started online, and by the time I was playing live tables, I was not playing those stakes. So I can't speak from experience. What I would say is if your goal is to make it long term in poker, 2-5 is a low enough stake where like I probably wouldn't change tables too often, um, and unless it's just like very very bad, because there's EV in challenging yourself, and it's not like 2-5 live games are never going to be unbeatable, um, for like if you kind of know what you're doing. So I would challenge yourself to beat some of the tougher 2-5 games, assuming your bankroll can handle some lower win rates and higher variance. Um, but that's my best advice, and like depending on your own situation, that might not apply. Brian, I mean, most challenging about launching in any like very heavily regulated environment is the restrictions are kind of they're all kind of handicaps to you know like without there are some regulations that are very wise and necessary, and there are other regulations that are, in my personal opinion, kind of silly and just kind of hamstring you, from giving the players the best features or releasing things as quickly as you otherwise could, or offering the deals that you otherwise could. And so that's the hardest thing, not specific to Pennsylvania by any means, just all kind of US states and some other some other regulatory environments that are harsher. I guess I'm going to jam ace 4 here. The 3x open. Okay. Well, we got it in slightly good. That's fine. But I like kind of was disappointed because I was wondering if the 3x open was a tell that he had a strong hand or it was just, whatever. And the fact that he had king queen meant, maybe it wasn't a good shove in theory or overall. Brian Rowcroft Ivy. Hello. My wife is listening to me watch this. She knows I'm a fan. Can you just mention me so she hears it? I don't know if I was supposed to read all of that, Brian, but Brian Rowcroft Ivy, thanks for being here. I appreciate you. And your wife is very lucky. Mackerel, good to see you. Welcome, welcome. We'll shut Jack 9 here. Mears says, what do you think makes Barry the ultimate heads-up goat? He's just clear. So kind of some of the things I was talking about is strengths of mind, hand reading and player profiling. I don't know exactly what it is, but he seems to be better at hand reading and better at leveling than anybody in the game right now. But I have not battled with him. I mean, essentially at all. Like the hands we played were 10 years ago or something. So I don't really know from experience, but I mean, I've observed a lot. Okay, Moonlight, cool. Thank you. Broke T-Gen. What's my tech background? So I don't have a tech background. I mean, let's see what I won. Remember, the longer sweat, the better. Let's get past green. Darn. Green into orange. I wanted to get into pink, but hey, a win is a win. A couple of wins by now is a good result. When we launched Run It Once training, we hired a tech team. It was really good, like a design and tech team. It was really good, and we built out a really strong website that I think was better than all of our competitors. We were really good at designing products, and so that got us, I don't know, gave us some confidence about our ability. Let me move these to the left. Our ability to create, I guess, good products. And so, while I think we remained good at designing products, we at first didn't pick the right tech team and had a lot of technical issues because my partner and I were not tech people. True Birdsman. PLO traffic has not been what I hoped so far. That's why, and somebody else asked why I'm not playing PLO right now. The Hold'em lobby is pretty active. Sit and go as I'm trying to get going, but PLO has been not what I want it to be, unfortunately. So far, it's still very early. We're a week and a half post launch, but again, because like I was saying earlier, we've had a lot fewer grinders than I expected, and a lot more players from casino and sports than I expected. The recreational players are more likely to play Hold'em. They don't watch PLO on TV. They don't know how to play PLO. So I think that's what's happened. And I think as we get more regulars over here, traffic will go up quite a bit, and also specifically PLO will go up because experienced poker players are more likely to play PLO than new poker players. Do I know Antonius? I don't know him very well. I've played with him a number of times. He said is he nice as a person? He's always been nice in my experience. Yeah, he's always been nice. He's a pretty quiet guy, as am I. So it's not a judgment, just an observation. But yeah, he's always been kind. Uh, BC's, I can never say your name, but BC Cesar. I have no idea actually how much my EV is in no limit hold'em tournaments with like 5K people. I've never been a tournament pro at any point in my life. Well, at the first year of my career as a sit and go pro, which I guess we're playing now. But otherwise, I've just been a cash game player, and I've never at any point had a sample to estimate my ROI in tournaments. Korea, hello. Excuse me, Carla. I'll increase my font size or open my eyes better. Market, super clean look. Will def hop on if when it's global. Rooting for you. Appreciate all the content. Thank you. I appreciate you very much as well. I appreciate you supporting the content here on YouTube. I'd love to be rest of the world. We did used to be in a lot more jurisdictions as Run Once Poker, but didn't quite work out the way that. Well, I wouldn't say that. There were some wins and some losses, some victories and some failures, but we realized that we weren't going to make it on our own, and that's. But we had built something really cool that a lot of people supported, and there was a lot of interest from other companies, mostly in the U.S. market, to buy what we built, and that's how we ended up here as BetRivers Poker. Queen 7 offsuit, not a great hand, but it is now. Simon T says, if you ran ad subscriptions, get rid of rake entirely, would that be feasible? The ratio to raking is so high in small stakes. It's an insane handicap. I wish there was a way to move. So first of all, we're giving back all the rake we collect for these next 3 months, hoping to make it a permanent plan. But we have to prove that it works. And I would say, we don't have enough data over the first week and a half, but I'm a little discouraged because part of it working is the people who care about rake most, aka the grinders, the pros, kind of relies on them caring and showing up. And that's actually who we've had the least traffic from. We've had, as I said at the top, more traffic from non-pros than expected and less traffic from pros and grinders than expected. So that's an early indication to me that that the regulars don't care enough about rake well, I shouldn't say that. They don't care as much about rake as I thought. But we'll see. So yes, I don't think a subscription model works well. The challenge for a subscription model would be you have to charge so much for a subscription to equal the amount that you're actually raking that it would look obscene. And unfortunately, the fact of the matter is most recreational players don't notice rake because it just gets taken out of the pots. And when you put it right in the front of their face with a subscription or an hourly charge, then they notice and they're like, oh, this is expensive. I want to go somewhere else, or I want to go play blackjack where they're not charging me a rake, even though they're charging you in a different way. So that's the fear, I think, or that's the problem with that approach. Ads, I think it's just too tough to make the money back. Although I've heard people will try that. Whoops, I almost timed out, so I limped when I should have raised. I will have to call it off. Herpy says lower stakes player here looking to use Vision. I tried to ask support, said it wasn't allowed any chance of paying monthly for Vision with the Halloween sale. No, so there, yeah. I mean, you can buy Vision monthly, but not with the if there's a if, there's actually been a different sale a couple times, so I'm not sure what the current one is, but if assuming the sale is on a year of Vision or 3 months of Vision or something like that, then the you can always pay monthly, but it won't be on the sale price or at the sale price. And I am not in a. I mean, yeah. If you contacted support, then they had the answer. Where you gone basketball play in the Triton PLO events? Maybe someday. Right now, I'm so first and foremost, I really, really, really don't like to travel. So like this trip is a big sacrifice for me, and not that I'm looking for a pat on the back, but travel is like I like to be at home. It's very important to me. And so for something to take me out of home, it has to be important to me too. And so I think I'm going to shove here. Like lines are so big, just getting this through is good. Um, so yeah, like Triton tournaments, what am I trying to say? Yeah, like it might happen at some point, but right now it's not a priority. Wow. Like, speaking of good games, um, okay. Divine rulers, thank you for the kind words. We got an all in. I guess I don't know. Bibs, yes, this is the Run Once Poker platform rebuilt for BetRivers. In the US, yes, Stuck in Micros were only available in the US. Right now, just in Pennsylvania. We'll expand to more states as we can. But it's unlikely that will be in like the EU anytime in the foreseeable future. It's where Run Once used to be. So here we raise, we get min raised. I guess I'm just going to call with ace. I don't really know what to make of this. Could be a lot of min three betting going on. Let's just bet and see if he's check folding Jack 10 or something. It's fine. Brian, glad you enjoyed that. Or rather glad she enjoyed that. Yellow hurts my streak. My stats in streak are not, I mean, not anything special. Check out the leaderboards for something to aim for, but I'm not a streak wizard. First of all, I'm only really strong at heads up, and even there, I'm not the best. I'm not one of the top couple in the. Oh wow! Okay, there we go. Oh, I guess he had pretty good pot odds. $10. The other day we were running hot in in the spin aspect of the cube sitting guess. Today we're just running hot in actual poker, and or people are kind of letting me win. Warbucks, yeah, I'm still friends with both Mikey and Bruiser. I saw actually Bruiser was out with her family, visited us in Vegas a month ago. And Mikey works for Run It Once. Levi says we added notes. You're right, we added notes. There we go. So yeah, the difference between one of the benefits now of being with BetRivers and a kind of larger, more robust development team than we had before We spent a lot of time rebuilding the platform to be more, well, scalable and flexible. Is we're going to be able to add features faster. I mean, probably most of you weren't there 5 years ago when we launched Run Poker, but the I'm trying to say it was slow to add the features that we were missing, and so now you'll see things coming out as we go. Yeah, True Birds fan, as Moonlight Master said, if you just head to the site and sign up, they'll give you the deposit bonus for 100% deposit bonus. Anthony, it's funny when people complain about Rake, when you give it all away, they don't flock to it. Yeah, it is. It is funny. I was, truth be told, last time when we launched Running Once Poker, and essentially this happened. We were trying to do great things for poker, things that people really wanted, and they all kind of said, we'll wait, we'll support you when there are more games, we'll support you when, uh, I don't know, once, we'll support you later. And then we ran out of time. I was kind of bitter is a little too strong, but something, that brand of feeling. And it took me a while to process. And I essentially, where I got to is, look, like, people who are playing poker professionally or semi-professionally, it's their livelihood. And to ask them to make decisions for any reason other than what is immediately best for them individually, it's a pretty big ask, and not something that I should expect of anybody. And the fact of the matter is, with Run Once Poker, and a little bit with BetRivers, although we're a much bigger brand now, we were trying to build a grassroots movement, and that involved hoping people would make some sacrifices in their short-term EV, let's say, for the greater good, for the cause that eventually we would grow and would be a force for good in the online poker world. And I think that was a naive expectation on my part. As we get hero by ace 7 there, unfortunately, I think that was a naive expectation on my part. Um, and well, and feeling kind of resentful of it not happening was just immaturity on my part. And this time around, I have a different attitude based on that experience. Like, I just know the players are going to come over when it's best for them. They're not going to have, so, like, we have urgency. We have 3 months to show that giving all the rake away works. But the players, that's not on their mind, and they don't have the urgency that we have. And a lot of them are like, yeah, this looks cool, I'll show up, I'll play later. And that's really, we can't ask anything more of them than we can't expect them to inconvenience themselves for our benefit, or for the benefit of the good of the community, um, or of online poker in general. And I think this gets a little thin here with the 7. Um, I mean, I don't know. Um, and so, what was I getting at? It's kind of our job to make this more obviously beneficial to them more quickly. Queen 6. I'm just going to rip this in, see if I can fold out some pairs or ace high, maybe without a draw. Jack 10. We got limp called by the Queen 7, which got us. But anyway, yeah. Players are gonna do what players are gonna do. It's not like, for us, it's so obvious. Or, like, for us, we're so aware of when we launch, what we offer, when we have these deadlines to kind of prove that it works. But it's important to put yourself in other people's shoes who have lives going on and their own, whether it's businesses or careers or poker play. Like, they're just not thinking about it as frequently. Like, they're just not thinking about it in the way that we are. We can't expect them to. It's not like their top priority. Stuck in my, is it possible there are not as many grinders in Pennsylvania? I mean, it's it's possible there aren't as many as we think, but I mean that there are grinders everywhere. But maybe fewer here than elsewhere. Morgan Pound, do I do any crypto trading? I don't. My personal, I don't like to. Well, it's funny. I was going to say I don't like to split my focus because I like to get good at the things I'm good at. But that's kind of crazy because I play poker and I run multiple businesses and I coach. Um, what I mean by that though is they are like I try to be more intentional about the things that I do overlapping and being more congruent with each other. I talked about this last stream, but and so I think that like trying to learn a new skill um, to get to like a quality level or a skill level in trading, for example, that would rival my what I could do with my hours in poker or in business in the poker world is just going to be a huge investment, and it's not a passion of mine. So why do it? Um, Moonlight Master, you might not have access to it probably because you're in Europe, um, but it should be. Yeah, it's featured in the. It should just be the BetRivers app, I believe. Madman, please email support and ask that question. That's very surprising to me. But hopefully they can help you with verification. Yeah, Moonlight Master mentioned support. Yeah, please check out. Please reach out to support because I don't have the A6. We're going to shove on in there and see if we can get him to fold. Nope. Min raise was a strong hand, unfortunately. And we'll suck out. Let's see if we can suck out again with a. Let's get past the green, past the orange. Okay, we got to orange. Okay, I'll take it. $20. I want to get past the orange. Hyper Poker, hello, hello. Andreas, good to see you, man. Yeah, streaming on this platform and seeing you in chat is nostalgic for me. Thank you for all the support when we were Rio Poker and for the support now. All right, I'm going to do the classic stop and go, but not really. I might actually check fold some flops. Yeah, I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to check fold. I don't know. I don't know if that's good. All right, we're gonna have to put in $10 with 7 high. We have him dominated. Monster 7-3 offsuit. Ahead again. It's gonna be quite the comeback for my 3-chip check fold with 5-3. Sevens do not hold up. And we're out in third place. Did we win the glitch? No. Let's keep the fives going. We got 10 players in this player pool now. I guess we have to call 7-3 again, our monster. We're up against 10 deuce, 2 huge hands. All right, we are out. Let's see if we bank something. No. For those very confused about why I'm rooting for something after I lose, that's a glitch prize that sometimes we glitch into a third or second place prize. On the, I think the first day I streamed or the second day I streamed, I won like a 5 buy-in glitch, which is, I think I bought in for 10. I got third place and I won $50. Thomas Parker, thank you for the question. So Moonlight, if you can share the post with Thomas Parker, But the way that the rake's going to be given back is a few different ways. So the main way is going to be in our loyalty store, which you'll accumulate points based on how much volume you play. And you'll be able to use those points for, you could use it for poker cash, which is essentially cash in your poker account to play with. You could use it for casino bets or cash and sports bets or cash. And the way that we're able to give it all back is that if you redeem it for casino or sports, it's going to be at a higher rate than if you redeemed it at poker. So the idea of kind of us giving all the rate back is also to incentivize play on other verticals, with the goal of being, people come over from insert name a competitor to play our poker site, but they play their sports betting elsewhere, their casino betting elsewhere. But now they play on our poker site, they get their rewards in sports bets, so they have to go place it. If they want to maximize their rewards, they have to go place a sports bet. And then they realize they like our sports platform and they just want to move all their funding over here to play poker, sports, and casino in the same place. And that's how we make it profitable for RSI, for BetRivers as a whole. So that's how a lot of it will be given back. We're also giving away a lot. We're having a lot of free rolls, more in the early days. Free rolls and overlay more in the early days, but some free rolls will continue going on, and some overlay will as well. There'll also be like ticket drops. So this last weekend we gave away a lot of sit and go tickets to casino players. There'll also be, was it casino players or was it people who already tried the platform? I don't know. There'll also be, I don't know what to call them, but bonuses. So deposit bonuses, both first deposit and like redeposit bonuses. There'll also be kind of incentives to, for example, hey, if you play 3 tournaments this week, we'll put $20 in your account or something like that. I don't count on getting that exact one, but something to that effect. I think 4s needs to fold here. So those are all the ways off the top of my head that we'll be giving it away. But so even though in direct rewards in the iRush store, you won't be getting, like, individual players, some won't be getting 100 directly, 100%. Some will be getting more than 100% through the other means. And people who play more of the free rolls, who take advantage of the overlays, they're getting kind of more of that to them. The point is, we're gonna try not to keep any of it. Grant Man, so I was just explaining it. It's only available in Pennsylvania, and there is rake, but we're giving it away. We're trying to keep none of it in the method that I talked about. Here is Sergio. 3-bets me. Min. I'm just going to rip ace-8. This is good. So we get min 3-bet. Flop is ace-7-7. We're going to call a pot-size bet. Oh, wow. We got called by ace-4. We lose. Okay, so he goes min 3-bet, pot flop, min bet turn. We're going to min raise turn. Let's have some fun. Calls the min raise, king on the river, and he shoves. What's he got? 9s. That's exactly what I put him on. Madman, yeah, thank you for checking with support. Grandman says jackpot sitting with sweat after you win is insane. Do you mean that in a positive way or a negative way? So the reason we did the sweat after, both in the glitch and the when you win, is because this is actually part of our overall sit and go offering, which is called Sit and Go Select, SNG Select, as you can see here. And you can choose to play classic sit and goes or cube sit and goes, which are the ones that we're playing now. And whether you play classic or cubed, whether you want the extra variance for fun or you don't, you're in the same player pool. So Sergio here, it's unlikely that he is, but Sergio might be playing a classic sit and go where he put in $5 if he gets, or actually it'll be $4.50. He put in $4.50, and if he gets first place, then he's going to win math $13.50. with no kind of randomness associated with it. And so for people who don't want the big gamble, they can just play the regular classic sit and goes. But for people who want the fun, they can play cubed. The reason there's a difference between the $5 and the 450 is that that extra 50 cents goes into an unraked pure gamble, which is the glitch prize. So when you lose, if you ever lose, if and when you lose, there's a chance to win a prize, even as the loser, which is purely random, no skill associated with it. And the reason we went for that was that for losing players, the more randomness you can add, especially unraked randomness, the more winning experiences they're going to have. And that was our goal. Like that, plus it's a lot of fun to lose a tournament and like to lose a $10 tournament and then it says, oh, you won $50. Not that that's the common occurrence, but it happened to me. Dustin, can you bet on the BetRivers Sportsbook through the poker client? Yes, you can. So the way it would look is when you when you log into the poker client, you actually get two kind of clients. This is the portal, and this is the poker lobby. And from the portal, you can go to Sportsbook and do all your stuff. Do all your stuff. Your sports stuff. See Moonlight Master defending me for being boring. I don't see somebody calling me boring, but yeah, I'm not a very exciting streamer. I'm here to teach and to talk and to hang out and to play good poker. Fives, it's going in. Flush draw, let's check call. I'm definitely more of I mean, like, whether in poker, I guess in poker or elsewhere, I do not view myself as an entertainer. I view myself as a teacher, as a mentor. That's what I would rather be. I mean, it's what I'm built to be. I'm not built to be an entertainer. Yeah, Padfi, we'll be looking to expand to other jurisdictions in the future. I get led into. I'm going to call with my six. Dustin, not available in Canada. We're just in Pennsylvania right now. I think Ontario, which has regulated poker, just in Ontario, it's possible that would be on our radar in the future, but not super near term. I think plans can change. Oh, Sandor just asked a similar question. So very, very possibly. Um, Interesting. I'm a little confused by this. You tricked me. Yeah, let's see if we win that glitch prize for second place. No. Plutonic. There is not an email address to contact me. Okay, when I got to that. Brian asks if in the future Pennsylvania players will be able to qualify online for a live tournament at Rivers Casino. Yes, that is the plan. And in the future, yeah, I'm excited. We can do some cool things, with the properties and the online site, which is a pretty cool advantage we didn't have when we were running Once Poker rest of world. Royal Straight Quads, not available in Belgium, and likely won't be. If you are basically, here's the way to look at it. If you are somewhere that has BetRivers sports and or casino, or Rush Bet, which is also um, an RSI brand, and poker is legal where you are, then that is on our radar. It doesn't mean guaranteed that we're going to be there, but that's somewhere we want to be. Kind of. Wants is I don't want to speak for the entire company, but that's where I want to be. Jack of Hearts, we're not going to be folding. Do we raise against 73? Yeah, let's min raise. I don't know. Let's have some fun. It's a spin and go. All right. 3 of Hearts, 5. Okay. Raise the turn is very ambitious from him. So let's keep that in mind for the future. Yeah, Moonlight Master. Moonlight Master will hold it down. Gags, good to see you. So I mean, the player pools being together between Yes, I fold. The player pools being together between I would have won that one. Cube Sit and Go in Classic doesn't have any real impact on collusion as players. If it were just cubed or just spin and goes or whatever, the same thing is true. Players can play in the same player pools, but there are other things we do to we have a game integrity department to look for things like collusion. But no, I'm not. Unless I'm misunderstanding something, I don't think that changes anything. The fact that that those player pools are combined. I guess we're going to call here with the straight. Ooh, went for a very ambitious bluff. Did Leilani. I like that. I like our creative names. Obsolete. There is a deposit code that everybody has access to if you just have the site. I think it'll be poker, but they'll show you there. You won't miss out on the deposit bonus. Go chat. I appreciate that. And look, I do care about players. I also am a businessman. That said, the more of you that sign up on BetRivers Poker, I don't make more money if you do. I'm promoting and getting the word out. I mean, yes, I'm paid to be an ambassador, and a consultant, but I don't have like incentives tied to results. So the reason that I'm so passionate about promoting BetRivers Poker is because I really believe in it, and I really believe in what we can do for poker and what specifically and especially the Rakeback promotion that is going on now, and that I hope to make a permanent one. I think could change online poker entirely, like completely change the trajectory of online poker, and that's it's very ambitious. It's sounds maybe delusional, some might say, a very lofty goal, but I mean, like, I was just on a call today with some I never know what to call them, students, clients, whatever, members of my program that are all playing in games with very high rake, and it's such a it's so tough for them because they're, I guess not all, the ones that I was talking to mostly that were struggling with this was like, I can't play that often because the rake is so high that I have to wait for the game to be really good, and so it's very challenging to we were talking about kind of structuring their work-life balance, structuring their routine, and making sure they go into games kind of like prepared to play, mindset stuff. And it's such a challenge because they're kind of for these high stakes games that are high rake, they're kind of on call. And, they kind of have to keep their eye on the lobby. And when a game runs, get in there. And there's no preparing for that like you would, a normal session that you're going into. And um, look, there are some the reason that there are high rake games, even at high stakes, that are running is because those platforms, whether they be public or private, have done a good job of attracting weaker players such that, the games are still beatable for some, even at the high rake. But man, it's such a stressful way to, it's such a stressful way to play that you don't have to only worry about like, am I better than these players or not? You have to think like, am I okay? I'm better than these players. How much better? Am I better enough to overcome this insane rake? And I'd like it to be different. Yeah, sorry, Glutonic. If I had a Glutonic, is that how you? If I had an email that I gave out in scenarios like this, I would absolutely not be able to respond. Like I'm bad at responding to emails anyway, and so if I left it open like this, there may as well not be one there because I wouldn't have time to get to it. So I know it might sound silly, like why don't you just have an email address? But I would rather not have one than have people reaching out to me and being disappointed all the time. Okay. Yeah, I did. I mean, a year ago, but not my real teeth anymore. 8-6 fold. So 10-8 is like, I actually don't like these blockers to bluff with. Oh, hold on. Oh, he bet the. I thought I bet the turn and he check called. Okay. Okay. Raphael, what to do when you're breaking bankroll after bankroll? Stop playing for a while and only study, work a normal job, try to build things up. Big question is, Raphael, why are you busting bankroll after bankroll? Is it a are you not a winning player? Are you a winning player in the games you play, but then you tilt, or then you move up in stakes and then you chase your losses? So it's hard to give advice if I don't know the reason. For some people, sure, study more. For others, it's more of a tilt issue. It's not a skill or a study issue. And usually it's a combination of a bunch. But the way that you ask the question, I think probably there's a skill issue. And so getting a getting access to a course or a mentor, I think would be useful. PLO Hertz. No, I talked to Omaha for roles like 3 years ago or 4 years ago, back when I was doing the challenges, and he was not interested. Not that I think he was scared of me or anything. He just wasn't interested. Um, he'd certainly be a fun opponent. Tommy, do you know just in Pennsylvania right now? Brian, thank you for asking. What can players do to help support the site besides playing poker and telling other people about the site? It is like the main thing that you can do is telling other people, especially in like especially on, creating discussion on social media. So when I share posts about the site, asking me questions, you don't have to necessarily retweet and share with everybody, but engaging and kind of not only asking me questions, but responding to other people's comments and questions. Like that's how the word gets spread. And so kind of just, I think one of the things that we are lacking right now, let's see what kind of sweat we get here from blue to green. Just green. I'll take the $10. I am winning a lot of these. I think hopefully some of these people are winning some glitch prizes because I think these my opponents have not been playing optimal strategy very often. Next hand, Alec. Let's see if we get a glitch prize. But Brian, thank you very much. It is mostly, since I know most people watching are not in the state of Pennsylvania and not nearby. If you're nearby and you want to come down and play a little bit, obviously that'd be helpful. But for those, yeah, like just spreading the word and keeping it in the discussion. Eric, good to see you. Thank you for the good luck wishes. Jay Seppi loves the Uncle Sam. Phil wants you to play. Yeah, I want you to get more Rakeback. EKW, not sure if 3 months is long enough for the experiment. I hope it does well enough that it'll be considered. Yeah. So, I mean, it's possible at the end of 3 months, we say, like, look, this was kind of promising. We don't really have enough data to be sure. Give us 3 more months. And we need to, we have a discussion about that. But what was agreed to is 3 months. Yeah, when you're playing low stakes, Wendell, whether it's multi-way or heads up pots, like I don't think you should be focusing a ton on solvers. Regardless, I think it should be courses, study groups, coaches, training videos. I would not communities. I think that like yeah, for when a lot of pots go multi-way, the solvers are not as valuable, and not only because they don't have as many multi-way solutions, but because players aren't playing optimally, so it kind of doesn't matter. Oliver, I haven't heard of that prospect of the UK sharing liquidity with US sites. That would be cool. We got min raise, or we got raise, min raise, min raise. I really want to see these hands, but I guess I'll fold with my 4 high and see if we get a showdown. Okay, they had good hands. Small raises. Justin says, can you explain what or how much rake affects how you play poker? You play fewer hands that become playing top opening ranges other than moving money away from players. Yeah, so when rake gets higher, the correct adjustment is to play tighter and more aggressively pre-flop. That's assuming that we're talking about kind of a standard rake format where if the pot ends pre-flop, no rake is taken. So given that that's the kind of most common format, you want to end more hands pre-flop. And so when somebody raises, you want to fold more often, but you also then, with your tighter range, you want to 3-bet and attack more so that they fold more. And you take down the pot, pre-rake. But that's the general approach, is just tighter play and more aggressive play pre-flop. King 10. You know what? I want to see a flop. These players are doing some interesting things. Moneyless in Brazil. I appreciate that you don't find me boring. It's okay if people do. Freeware, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I enjoy playing on it too, and like I said, the games have been very good in my experience. Giuseppe, yeah, a smaller version of the Galfond challenge could happen. Might be better to wait until there are more jurisdictions available. Nathan, I don't play much poker these days, live or online. Truth be told, I don't have options available to me. Does that make any sense? So I'm kind of just, don't worry, I keep busy, but it's not playing poker these days. It's running business, coaching, creating content. Thanks, Moonlight. Royal Straight Quads, thank you for the kind words. Thanks for being here. Joshua Davis, RSI does not operate in Nevada right now, to the best of my knowledge. Nevada's tough with it's tougher to get into than some of the other states, especially for poker. I mean, if you'll notice, if you're in Nevada, WSOP is the only one there. There's no Poker Stars there. There's no MGM there. There's like, it's tough to get in for some reason. Lax Society. I'm glad you appreciate my entertainment value. This is an interesting one from Ruth. I mean, limp check. I just need to see it. I don't know. Like, this is not GTO to get this in for a bunch of times the pot, but it seems so weird to me. But I guess that's how you own me, Ruth K. Nice hand. And good game. That was a very interesting one. Shove deuces. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, the games are good. I mentioned this yesterday, but like, I don't normally point out when people make bad plays. But since like the games, it's just like a lot of casino players playing and not a lot of grinders. And for the sake of the site, we need more grinders to increase volume and liquidity. I'm I'm pointing it out where I otherwise would not. Nathan, I mean, my training site is runatonce.com, and so I'm very biased. I'm going to tell you to go there, and you can check out, depending on what level you're at, you can check out, from the ground up, no limit cash games. You could check out our essential membership. Essential would probably be the way to go. It's going to be either of those are like a lot of bang for your buck. Whereas when you're ready to step up a little bit, Elite, which is $200 a month or $1,400 a year, that's the next step. But Essential is only $25 a month. My course foundation is only $50 and comes with a month of Essential, which is $25 value, I believe, last I checked. And then from the ground up, no limit is $100. So all of those are really good value for the games you're playing. And like we have a lot of content for six max online, low stakes. Go Chad. Yeah, we gotta abide by the, BetRivers is not like, like a coin poker. BetRivers is a part of RSI, which is a publicly traded company, and we're going to be abiding by all the regulations. And that unfortunately means we can't be worldwide, as that's just not allowed by the regulators. EKW is not going well for you in the 20 PLO pool. I'm not glad about that. I'm glad the 20 PLO pool is running. Although it looks like 20 NL, never mind. I knew that would be running. So now I'm entirely not glad about it. Get your money back. I'm curious how the game quality is for you. Koski, great question. Thank you. Great questions. So, but almost all of it's open to anybody. you don't see me in them because I think a common what a lot of people don't know is I've never been a tournament player at any point in my career, um, with the exception of sit and goes, which I was for 1 year, 20 years ago. But I'm a cash game player. I'm not. I've never been any good at tournaments, um, and so if I were to hop into the no limit Triton tournaments, I would get wrecked by these players who were world class at them. Um, and if I were to hop into the PLO tournaments, I'd probably do just fine. But yeah, to your next point, I don't I don't like travel. I don't like being away from my family. Doing both of those things right now, to be here and stream, and it's wearing on me. Um, so yeah, it's like there are a lot of reasons for that. Rodolfo says, "Do you believe getting access to MD is a prerequisite to crush 1K plus NL these days?" I mean, I'm a little bit out of touch, but I don't think so. I mean, I'm confident that I could without any MDA, even though I don't play no limit. But well, crush is a strong. I'm confident I could beat them um, with a little bit of work, even though I don't play no limit without any MDA. But but I can't really say from experience or watching other players kind of rise the ranks. EKW, okay, good thing your NL 100 session went better. Yeah, last night. I guess we're gonna keep calling this, 20 chip bet. Now we play the board, jams. I'm actually gonna fold, I think. Queen X, Queen X. No, I'm gonna call. Justin, thanks for the friends. Wait, maybe an outcome of lower rake on BetRivers, different play style pre-flop. Yeah, so it's interesting because I'll lose this pot. Maybe we'll win this one though. Because there is still rake collected, it's just given back in different ways. There is still a reason to account for the rake. Now it is low to start, even before we give it back, but there'll be some adjustments. Rodolfo, or Nathan's asking Rodolfo, MDA is mass database analysis. It's where people data mine a bunch of hands and study player tendencies um, in a lot of situations. Baja Joe Poker, always enjoy the opportunity to hear your thoughts. Phil, thanks for streaming. Thank you, and you're welcome. Looks like you're in West Virginia. Um, so the West Virginia is one of the few states that is legal. The not a lot of sites have been going there, I think, because they just expect the population. Well, it might be because population is small compared to the licensing fees and things like that, and operational costs to get set up. But it also might be because it's more recent that they've been legal. So I can tell you, I'm not allowed to say what our plans are specifically, but I can say that West Virginia has come up in discussion as as we're talking about next steps and the steps after that. Yeah, Connor, US only, and right now just Pennsylvania. Guess we're gonna fold 5 high gut shot for $400. 400 chips into the 60 chip pot. Pocket eights, I'm gonna trap. It's a little iffy. Okay, we get the min race. I'm gonna lose that one. Seppi, don't I own bracelets? Well, okay, so yes, I have 3 bracelets, but you don't need to. You don't need to be that good at tournaments to win a bracelet, especially if you play some mixed games. So, I mean, my first bracelet's in Pot Limit Omaha, which is not what I would call like a mixed game, but my next one was Deuce to Seven single draw, and the one after that, Pot Limit Omaha 8 or better. And the fact of the matter is, like, there have been a few summers where I've gone bracelet hunting, more than a few. I don't. It hasn't been 3 summers and I won 3 bracelets. There've been a handful of summers where I've gone bracelet hunting, and those tournaments that have between 100 and 200 people, if you know how to play the game, and like a lot of the people like who play PLO8 aren't PLO8 tournament players. A lot of people who play Deuce 7 single draw aren't Deuce 7 single draw tournament players. So you're kind of on a level playing field. If you know how to play the game as a cash game, then you're good. And the fields are small, so if you play 10 tournaments that have 200 people in each, then like you got a 5% chance at a bracelet, even if you're average skill. And I think I'm above average skill and when I'm playing in those. So 10% chance, 20% chance each year, depending on how many I play. If I want to grind, I don't know. I'm making numbers up, maybe more than that. But you can win bracelets without being a great tournament player. KW says the games are great, but I suck. LOL, and the RNG hates me. All right. Well, I hope that turns around both the RNG and your skill level. Bad beat to start with the 4 on the turn. Will we get the glitch prize? No. If you are if you're in Pennsylvania and you're watching, let's play $5 and $1 sit and goes. I want to see how many of those we can get going. It's been a so like I just came off one of my several calls today was a traffic call, and so I did get to see some numbers for how things are going, and the sit and goes are one of the ones that I felt like again we've got these players coming over from casino, and sit and goes are these are the perfect games for them, and they sit and they're just not running often enough. Whereas like cash game hold'em has been running pretty regularly, um, but the sit and goes have not. So let's give those players something to play, because it's just like that's why liquidity is so critical for an online poker site, because a casino player shows up, maybe he's going to have awesome experience playing these cube sit and goes, but he shows up the first time, he waits for 6 minutes, one doesn't run, he's confused like about the waiting table, he doesn't know what's going on, and then he leaves and he doesn't come back, and now like you've lost a really good part of the ecosystem potentially. Um, so yeah, especially if you play for fun, like play these play these sit and goes every day when you play. Like you're not going to have as much of a if you're a recreational player, your loss rate, your negative edge against good players is not going to be that high, and also it's not a lot of tough players playing them right now, and probably there won't be for a while. So it's a great place to gamble if that's your goal. Ryan, what made me decide to be the arbiter for the Berkey and Airball heads up match? Stupidity. I mean, it's like people pleasing. They asked me to. I said yes, and then I regretted it. But it was very funny, so at least I got some entertainment out of it. But one of the things I'm working on is saying no more. All right, let's see if we can get at least to the orange. Let's get an orange sweat. Ah, 2.5. I mean, that's not bad at all. But I'm more in it for the sweat. Get into a $1 down here just because I want to get some more of these going. And I just asked you all to play the $1 and $5 with me. Lifestream Aquatic. If Run It Once did not exist, which training site would you recommend? Or another angle, what training site do you admire? So this is not this is going to sound like a cop out, but I haven't watched any videos from any other training site, which is probably a like significant business mistake. But I just haven't. So I can't answer that with any kind of confidence. I can't. Yeah, I just can't answer it with any kind of confidence. I've heard as a Giuseppe asks for my asked to see the Rivers lobby, which might be a good time for. Here's the sit and go lobby. You got the cash game lobby. You got the MTT lobby, which by the way, lots of overlay, lots of giveaways. This is a $250 daily cent. You pay 1 cent for a $250 prize pool, which is, there's not going to be near that in buy-ins. What else do we have? Free roll, free roll, free roll. Sorry, I just exploded this and I'm timing out with aces. So hold on. I have aces in the $1. My lobby is massive. Excuse the view for a moment. Anyway, lots of free rolls and cent rolls and good stuff going on in tournaments. We're going to get this in with aces in the $1 against the nuts, second nuts rather, and we're going to bust out in third. So come take money from me. I'm putting my money in drawing dead. Okay. Sorry that I was kind of quick with showing the lobby there. Maybe I give it another look when I get back. I guess maybe I will go to 4 tables now and get these sit and goes rolling. I'll show you the lobby first, though, in the 4 table view. Although I know for some of you it won't be as clear to see. So we got sit and goes, cubed, and classic. Again, these are the I mean, it tells you up here on the, oh, it's off screen. Up here on the right. So Hyper Turbo sit and goes went up to 1,500 times your buy-in, or classic, play for a fixed prize. So that's the difference between those. Cash games, you got Hold'em, you got Omaha, which unfortunately is not running right now. Hold'em games at various stakes running. And then call with King Jack, we'll raise Ace 10. The MTTs, which I was talking about. But Lifestream Aquatic, also, I just saw your hey message. Hope you're having a good stream. Thank you. Hope you're having a good night or day. Josh says, have you seen the Barry Sweet versus Anita 55 heads up PLO match? Have you ever played against Anita? Yeah, I've played against Anita more than I have played against Barry. And so it's funny, like a lot of people have been talking to me about the match, and I haven't been watching it. I've seen a lot of conversation about it. Have you been watching and you have any opinions or questions about it? Yikes. There's been enough erratic play that with these pot odds, I'm just not going to fold. I usually lose there. I guess just for the sake of fun, I'll show you the classic sit and go. Much less exciting, as you can see already. Left it off with 8-6. So the 450 Classic is going to be the same player pool as the $5 cubed. Yeah, Moonlight, it's not the glitch day. Bahajo, I haven't watched much of Jay Nanda's streaming. I know Fernando personally, and I know he's a strong player and a good guy from all my experiences with him. But I can't speak, on too high a level to, what was the question? Impressions of him as a player. I think he's good from all I know. Bill, I'd love to watch $100 to 5K challenge on this site. Something like that would be fun. Here as we get the classic sit and go started with a lot less fanfare as the others. I would enjoy that. I would need us to be in Nevada so that I could do it from my home. It's not going to be something I could do in 1 week on a trip like this, or a week and a half. But I like the idea for sure. Nicola, Luis, Louise, first time chatter. Hello, Phil. Hey, how did you become the go-to arbiter high stakes matches in the poker world? Also, is your rate a set limit or hourly? Unfortunately, I did all my arbitration for free. I don't know exactly how I became the go-to, but I'm trying to undo that. I think I think even just the way that I speak, people just assume that I'm very rational and fair. And I think there's an interesting phenomenon where if you're in an argument with somebody, and it's over something important, and you think you're right, well, then obviously you're going to think that somebody who's reasonable and fair is going to see it your way. And so sometimes it's a lot of like it's pressure on me because I guess I'm going to call here and Bluff River if I get the opportunity. Um, so sometimes there's like pressure on me, like somebody gets disappointed because both sides think they're right, and they're like, "Well, Phil's a smart guy. He's reasonable. He's going to see that I'm right." And then, you know, I don't side with both of them. Um, so I think there's something about me seeming not very erratic, so me seeming calm and thoughtful that gives people confidence that I'm going to pick the right side, which everybody thinks is them. So I'm going to bluff here, having gotten here this way with Jack High. Bigger. Distracting myself while I do it. Anyway, that's why. Moonlight, thanks for fielding that question. Jay Bakes, my thoughts on 1-3 in Vegas. I don't know enough. I mean, I think it's going to be very beatable, but you have to know what you're doing a little bit. Um, yes, Bruno, the prize appears after the sit and goes finished. We do that so we can combine the two player pools, and there's no opportunity for collusion. Yeah, Moonlight's fielding it well. JFMGC, any plans on doing some hand reviews of the Barry or Sanita match? Thanks for your amazing content and good luck. Thank you. I appreciate you. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I In the past I did a review that somebody from the match was not happy that I was doing it. But maybe if I talk to the players first. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're playing publicly, like, what do you expect? But yeah, maybe I don't like to make enemies, so get some permission maybe. And yeah, it's fun to review. Nathan is Tony's my top 5 toughest opponents face. So it's so hard to answer that from a like generational perspective. There's, I've played against so many people in so many different eras that playing him at the time that we played, because we haven't played a lot lately. Like playing him at the time that we played, yeah, I think so. I think that like, he plays like these days, he plays every game. Um and so I wouldn't expect him to be like a top 10 heads up PLO player these days. But still a good one. Um but back when we played, he certainly was. Limit Jack 7, we got some outs. Not one of them. EC asks if being good at heads up translates to being good at 6+ handed. Kind of. The similar skills are required. I think sometimes if you're playing heads up a lot and you hop into a full ring game, your habits are bad. You're going to play too loose at first. But it's harder to be good at heads up than it is to be good. Is that true still? Yeah, I think so. It's harder to be good heads up than it is to be good in the other formats. So if you can make it in heads up, I think you can make it in the others. But it might require actually, ironically, it's a little more study to be good at the other, at like 6-handed or 9-handed than it is heads up. Yeah, I haven't used my Twitch channel in years. Luke, not looking good for me up there. But I just figured out how to multi-stream, so added it because why not? Okay, I'm gonna call and I'm gonna open jam the flop with any flop. Here we go, pair, fold. Oh my gosh, it works. I didn't think that was gonna work. All right, that's good to remember. I can do that in the future. Greg W says, Phil, I can jump on if you want to play 2-5 heads up PLO. I'd be happy to get a PLO pool running. We need another person. Although I don't know. I like that we've got sit and goes going, so I'm going to stick with sit and goes. Thank you for the offer. I appreciate it genuinely. Jay Seppi says, "Oh, I lost with kings." That's not what he said. There's no glitch prize, unfortunately, when you play the classic, so I'm going to stick with the fun ones. Actually, no, I'll hop into a $1 here. We'll call them min raise. Jack 9, I think I need to bluff. Okay, nice hand, Henrik. Jay Seppi says, Phil, if you cannot do it, you should choose 1, 2+ random subs, coach their own $100 to 5K challenge, and it'll be a lot of fun work to do on your free time. But I bet you get 1 or 2 horses trying to get views. Yeah, it's a cool idea. All right, let's get past the green. Oh, $2. Okay, green, green, green. We'll shove it in here with the 6. Hope to fold out something. I'm not going to fold out that, obviously, but we held. Even better. 4-7 we'll call. Queen 4 will rip in. This player is definitely letting us steal some pots and blinds, so we might have a chance to make this comeback. He's not stealing the big blind very often. This is the biggest mistake to make in like hyper turbo sit and goes like this is just to let somebody win the pots. Unfortunately, like I think my shove here with 10-3 is good given the way he's playing, but obviously when you run at 10-8 and get called, it doesn't look good. After I'm criticizing him for not being as loose as me. Ace King falls to queens. We're not crushing. Super. Thanks for the question about the This is PLO course. I've at times considered adding stuff, and I'm not now sure what to add exactly. But truth be told, I get very caught up. Like lately, I've been super focused on my group coaching program, and I like forgot that I had at one point wanted to add some more things to This is PLO, and so being reminded helps. So thank you. I want to give that some consideration. Call it 3. We got a lot of playable hands here. Gotta keep calling with the 3. Start betting with King Jack. Jack's actually going to be a check fold here, I think. I'm trying to answer a question while I'm got action on every table. Well played by Princess there. I've seen a lot of, I think, bad play so far. I'm gonna give credit where credit's due. That was a good play. Nicola says some people describe solver study as complexity trap or poker siren call. Not the most effective study per hour for poker. Stay tuned. I find them a fascinating puzzle, but I see the point. Do you have an opinion? Yeah, I mean, I have some strong opinions, but it really depends where you're at in your game. I think that solvers are very useful. I mean, they're very powerful, very useful tools. However, in lower stakes games, I think they're the way most people study them, it's completely counterproductive. It actually hurts them. So it really depends who you are, how well you study it, the quality of your games, and how people are playing, because it's a question of like, do you want to, well, how important is it to play close to optimally? And if it's not important at all, they could still maybe teach you something. But most often what happens is that people study solvers and then start trying all these plays that, first of all, they don't understand. And second of all, because they don't understand them, they're trying them, like they're either implementing them incorrectly or they're implementing them correctly in the entirely wrong spot against an opponent who, like, there's no point in making a GTO bluff against a player who has a flush and is always calling. So I think that's a very, like, that's hyperbole. That's a straw man kind of, an extreme point, but or an extreme example to make the point. But things like that, like, really do exist, kind of. And so I think most people, I think if you're playing in lower stakes games, especially live, cool it on the solvers. That's my opinion. But also it depends what you're taking from them. I also think good solver study, even at high stakes, I think people are doing wrong. A lot of people are doing wrong. And I think, like, the way that I study solvers, I think I spend less time with solvers than, and I mean, right now I'm not playing, but again, when I played the Gap challenges, I was studying solvers a lot less than my opponents. And I think still getting more out of them. at least with some opponents in particular. So it's just like you got to be looking for the right things too. 10 GG. Henry guessed I don't play golf. No. All right, for the slow roll here with queens, Callipy. Hopefully you win. We need a club. Okay. We're into the green. 1250. Not bad. A lot of 1250s, which is not like thrilling, but it's actually, not far from what would happen in a regular sit and go. So can't really complain. Oh, I probably shouldn't sit at 2.5s. I'll sit at a $1. Nathan asks, okay. So Brian asks, how often do you meet with a mindset coach? For you personally, what was the best thing you got out of going to a mental coach? It depends on the time. So like at this stage in my, so when I was playing the Galfon challenges, I was meeting with Elliot Rowe like for the first one, like 4 days a week. I guess I'm calling with Ace 8 here. Um, with at other points in my career, once a month. Um, Now I'm not playing poker, but I actually meet with a coach twice a week. I have 3 different coaches, 4 different coaches actually that I work with now, and I'm meeting with so many so often because now the main thing I'm focusing on right now is coaching. And so I'm meeting with coaches as essentially like, sure, I'm getting some coaching out of it, but I'm also getting mentorship to make me a better coach, which is my main goal. Well, I don't know if I call it my main goal for meeting with them, but a goal, a big part of it. Full house is gonna beat Jack High, but the best thing I got is yikes. I can't do it. It's too hard. Sorry. Oh, and Nathan's the most difficult part of your poker career journey when it comes to deciding this is what you have to stick with to become successful. I don't know. Could you restate the question, please? Um, I can't tell which part you're asking. Like, I just raised 6-4 because players played 7% of hands over 16 hands, which is really tight. But sample size issue. I guess I'm checking because the big bet on the turn is supposed to be like an ace or better for value. Let's shoot Aquatic. No, Run It Once doesn't have a lot of double board bomb pot stuff. I know that that's in demand right now. I don't play it, so I don't have a. I don't play it, so I don't have a great strategy approach. I think so there's RB. Pretty much anyone can cheat with real-time solvers online without getting caught. Depends where you play. I think that you will likely get, like, a lot of the major sites, you'll get caught, most likely. PC, yeah, I mean, I've heard of BBZ, and I have not heard anything negative about them. I don't really know. I don't know much about them, um, so I would guess positive things, but I just don't really know. Being a little bit iffy. Appreciate the questions, you all, and sorry that I breezed through a lot of them. With 4 tables, it's kind of tough. I know that I have AMA in the title, and I do want you to ask me anything. Also appreciate your patience as I navigate all the tables and do my best to answer. Sometimes the answer has to be a short answer. Hey, we got $1.25 for losing. Not bad, not bad. We'll take it. 1530, king, queen. Let's just call, see it flop. King, queen. I think I'm just going to rip in the 4-7. King, queen's a weird spot. I probably should have bet because this is awkward. Let's go with raise. So white belt, white belt asks, if you were online wizard kid like back in the day without a big bankroll, when not many people knew you, how would you find a backer for WSOP or other live events? Um, it so like the question is, why do you want to? So if I'm a successful enough online whiz kid is going to make more money playing in the games that you're rolled for the most part. Make money playing in the games you're rolled for, and it's a fun way to suck out or get there. Um, make more money playing in games you're rolled for, and or like can afford to play in. Um, so what are the events that you can't afford to play in that you would want to play in? So like the main event, sure. I have to shove here with 5-6 open ender, but I don't like that Priscilla potted. It makes me feel like she's not folding. But I mean, we're a flip against that, and we got there, and let's see what we win in the cube. Green. 10. Okay. Oh, Husky. Good to see you, by the way. And good shout out. I didn't even know we had those videos on Run It Once, but for the double board bomb pots. Nice. What's my thoughts on Raise Your Edge and the paired software study method for someone in ABI of 25? I don't know. I've never used it. And yes, we call it 9.8. I don't know. I have no idea. And that's not a positive or negative in any way. I just want to recommend something I don't know about. Wow. Kai with the check jam on 954 with 10 deuce offsuit. And we are 10-6 high. It's the winner. Pretty cool. Way to win. He's 10. Right. Craig W., how do I feel about WSP giving out online bracelets like candy? And do you think they should count? Oops, timed out. I think they should be different. I guess I'll just call, but I'm not thrilled. Cool. That's an odd one. Fives loses to 3-4. Bad beat. I think they should be something different. It's their business. They get to do what they want. But I was talking about yesterday how like I play less WSOP because I think that like the bracelets have been devalued in my eyes, and so I just like don't care that much. Like I don't care as much as I used to about winning another bracelet. And for some people, that's not the case at all. And like their numbers are good. They're like people are playing, fighting for them, and so I think it might have been like it might be smart the way they're doing it, but for me, I would rather they give out something different online. Call King Jack suited, a little bit behind, but not by much. Too bad. Bob B. Yeah, I've seen. I mean, I haven't been following super closely as of late, but I see the mooning. King three off. Supposed to be a call. I don't know if this person's been shoving enough. I guess so. If we see that hand, Queen Jack offsuit. Let's get it in there. Yeah, these $5 cube sit and goes have been very good in game quality. Lucky River. Weird. I don't know what top left is going on there, but I mean, do I think poker is hard? I'm not the guy to ask. You know, I've been playing it for 20 years, and um, but it depends. It depends what you want to achieve. It's certainly a complex game that you know, take a lifetime to master, and you'll never really master it. I don't mean you specifically. I'll never really master it. Why I'm eager to play so many Sydney goes because after seeing today that many have ran, feels powerful to to massively impact the number that run in a day. I shove nines here. So keep playing with me. Make me feel good about myself. Daniel Cronin, I hope online poker comes back to more and more states as well. It's very unfortunate what happened to online poker in the US. I guess we had to call with 4 high for 80 bucks or 80 chips more, rather. Bob B, how do I think the game of PLO can grow? I mean, I think PLO growth and poker growth, I don't think it's so different that I would treat them differently. I think that what PLO suffers from and will always suffer from is that No Limit Hold'em is like the game that's going to be shown on the World Series of Poker main event, final table, and so on and so forth. But I think people getting into poker through Hold'em and some moving over, like there's nothing wrong with that. Some will move over to PLO in due time. I guess we're calling 6-7. I'm not really thrilled actually already. This top left one has been going on for a long time. 61-20 is pretty big blinds. Guess I'm going to fold the turn. It's pretty good flop. Oof. Held somehow. JFM GC. This is kind of weird for me that non-American. How much Americans value the bracelet itself? How long have you been in poker? Because I'm curious if it's like me. Like I used to value the bracelet like so much, and now but that feel differently. But that was a long time ago. 'Master, thanks for the shout out to the YouTube. Todd Nelson, you're very welcome. You knocked me out of $5, but didn't win. Thanks for playing with me in here, and I hope you're enjoying the platform. As I try to play a bunch of hands at once, somehow I'll hold with ace high, and we'll open a cube. Let's see what's in there. Just a couple of bucks that time. That's okay. Threes. Ace eight. I think we're gonna win with threes. All right, let's open up a cube. Got five. I'm gonna raise. Oh, I got third place and 250. So let's not open all of these at once. Make my computer explode with all the beautiful graphics. Let's see. We got, oh, no, I'm going to stick with sit and goes. Join me, all. Sit and go, sit and go. I'll sit at a $10 also, at a classic, so I don't have more animations running. I see $10 running, I see fives and ones, and actually the 25 cents are running too, so hop into any of these now. Looks like I might have a, yeah, I opened up too many things. Let's see. Bob B, I haven't been following Barry Burson yet. I assume Barry has the edge, but I don't really know. Last I heard, he was losing. That boy says, any advice for my second ever 2-5 live session? I'm an OK micro stakes reg online. I would think 2-5 live is going to be a little tougher than micro stakes online, but not massively tougher. If you, I would say play a little tighter than you might otherwise play, because it's likely that you have some nerves in the new environment and for higher stakes than you're playing with online. Obviously, I don't know if your finances, and maybe it's completely comfortable financially, but still, it's just different than what you're used to playing micros online. And so just starting out tighter is going to, there are a few ways to look at it, but it all kind of comes out the same. One way is if you play a little bit worse or the competition is a little bit better, then those fringe hands that you would otherwise play go down in EV and become unprofitable. The other way to look at it is, you're more susceptible to tilt. So playing tighter, so you're less likely to lose a lot of money, prevents you from falling off your game. Another way to look at it is, if you're just playing better hands, you're going to have fewer tough decisions and you're going to be less stressed out in a new environment. So I know it's a very boring tip, but I would suggest that you play on the tighter side. I mean, I'm going to keep calling the tiny bets, I guess, but I don't really beat value here. I guess I'm going to peel again. I mean, it's just so cheap. I probably lose, but it's not that much to call. I don't have to be good that often. Steve on X asks, Phil, on a skill ranking, would something like Triton be your top tier? How would you rank the skill versus WCP, WPT, et cetera, et cetera? I mean, the higher the buy-in, the higher the average skill, unless it's a private tournament of some kind. So yeah, Triton are all high rollers. They're generally going to be higher skill and tougher to win. That said, so it depends. What are you trying to measure? If you're trying to measure who the best players are, I mean, the ones playing in the Triton and winning are probably the best players. They also, so that it's possible that there's a really good player. I mean, I'm sure there are some, that there are really good players who can't afford to play in Triton and haven't networked enough or aren't getting backed for whatever reason for those events, or for some reason just don't want to play them. Not that I'm one of the best players in that structure at all, but I don't want to travel and play them. So it could be the case that there are some great players who don't play them. That said, yeah, I mean, I think Triton is where you would find most of the best players. Yeah, most of the best players in the world for sure. EKW says, I can't beat guys who play 87% of hands, lol. Yeah, well, I mean, the good news is they're playing 87% of hands. And the bad news is that you're losing, but, it's promising at least. He said, holy crap, I got a 97-27. 92-27 to fold pre-flop. I'm guessing you had a good hand. I hope you had a good hand, even though it was not the result you wanted with a good hand. Art Vandelay asks an excellent question. How do I go about finding a good study partner buddy? The reason it's an excellent question is because I think it's the most valuable thing you can do. Generic advice to everybody. On average, that's a really, really valuable thing that you can do. Obviously, I don't know each of you individually and your situations, but finding study partners, people to study with, I'm going to have to call it off with the king high here with 1,000,000 to 1 and see if I can hit something. Did not. But yeah, finding people to study with is a huge hack for improving yourself. That's at poker. That's at most things, in my opinion. Like just networking and having a group of people who are working in the same whatever industry or what have you. It's all really valuable. That said, there's not a clear cut way, um, but just put yourself out there, and whether it's forums or meeting people at the table, and just somebody who you think plays well. Or somebody you get along with. It doesn't even have to be somebody better than you. A lot of people, they struggle because they are waiting until they find somebody who is a lot better than them to study with. And you're going in with the wrong approach. It has to be a give and take, and start with giving. So if you're out there just waiting for somebody who's better than you, then you're going to miss a lot of, potentially very valuable partnerships and friendships. So that's what I can say about that. Nick H, you're very welcome. Thanks for being here. XHG, XHGR. This is the Renaissance Poker software that shut down to sell to Rush Free Interactive, which we did, and then launched like this in the US market. Six, eight, can't fold. I'm just gonna rip it in now. Yeah. Guess I'm gonna fold Queen Jack. I mean, that's kind of a bad fold, but whatever. This is not a hand that should shove, but I'm going to anyway because I think it might just work often enough. These players, on average, have not been very tough, so they're not really hand reading. With Ace Three, I mean, it doesn't matter if he hand read or not. It's just a call. Nick H says, by the way, curious if you could answer. How do you maintain your focus? Multi-tabling, I often, as I hear time out everywhere, I'll often jump around between hands and forget how the action even went. LOL. Yeah, it's a muscle that you build up. I mean, right now I'm not really taking poker seriously. I'm talking to you all, and so I'm losing some focus because I'm actually talking to you and multi-tabling and whatever. But it's a muscle that you build up. So just more experience and you'll get there. But push yourself slowly, not quickly, not all at once, to build up that muscle. Harlan with the 8-7 offsuit called Raise Jam, and is unfortunately going to lose tournament. Threes, I guess we're calling. Okay. Double N. I've been wanting to play. I want to get the sit and goes going, and I have been, which I'm excited about. As I time out here with 8-5, and probably would have been able to take that one down. Jack falls to King 10, and we get second place for nothing or nothing. Something about the glitch is just such a fun way to win. So you're not supposed to. Uh, Nick H. About in regards to the study thing, Phil, who do you think is your most influential partner when you started out? Um, it depends when we're calling starting out, but my friend Dan Quinn, who's my co-founder at Run It Once, um, was really influential. We started studying together when I was like 20, and yeah, he was super valuable. And again, to reiterate the point that I was saying earlier, I played higher stakes than him, and I learned more from him than anybody else really in that era of my career. It doesn't take somebody who's ahead of you necessarily to learn from. It's just somebody who's going to work with you and ask you the right questions and push you and just talk poker strategy with. You can be better than somebody and they could have an answer that you don't have. Like that's going to happen a lot. And Moonlight says that after I say it. Yeah. Or I mean, before I say it because you're on delay. Daniel Cronin asks how hard it is to get online poker regulated in a given state. Do I know? I don't know entirely. I know that it takes a lot of it takes lobbying money, so it's kind of you know uh, it depends how much money you have to spend on it. It's kind of the very short answer, and it's a little bit cynical, but it's just kind of reality as well. All in with sevens. We're all in with three queens against ace 10. It's probably going to work out for us. With king seven, yeah, we're probably gonna. I thought we were going to win with all of them. All right, first place 1250, second place 125. I shouldn't be in two fives. Up in a one. KW says so many tournament players are playing a fraction of their action and cross so many other plays. Hard to take them seriously. I mean, skill is skill and winning is winning. I understand what you mean, and you don't know how they're doing financially, but realistically, if they're beating the best players in the world, then you know they're I mean over like a period of time, like they're talented. They're very talented. So the amount of money they have on the line, I get it, but it's also like to be just to be able to sell action in those events, you got to be really good. So, for example, if I went to play like a Triton 100K no limit and tried to sell my action to pros right now, I mean, I don't think I could, um, because I'm not skilled enough. Like they're the most elite no limit tournament players in the world, and I'm not. Um, so yeah, they're. I get what you're saying, and I'm not disagreeing entirely. Well, I'm kind of disagreeing, but the way I see it, I should say, is it's impressive either way. And a lot of those people do have like a fair bit of money on the line, even if it's not all of the action. Oh yeah, Nick H. If you're playing draw games, you just can't you can't play as many tables. Similar with stud, where like you need to see the cards that were folded, the depth cards. There are some games that lend themselves to multi-tabling much better than others, and draw is not a good one for it. So just your yes, it's still a muscle to be built, but your ceiling is lower. Here it goes limp. I raise. We get clicked back. I guess I'm gonna call. These are some good games. Oh, this is the 25-cent sit and go. That's probably why. It's especially good. We'll check. Here with the ace eight, I'm just gonna shove it in. Like this ace eight. Check the river. And we'll call 20 into a pot of 260. Okay. If I had noticed this person had 90 left, I might have shoved the turn or something. I probably would have played it the same way. Engage. Yes, conversations with Tom Dwan were always very thought provoking. Um, I learned a lot from him, and his way of thinking of the game was the most unique for sure of everybody I knew, which is really valuable. I'm going to shove 9-4 suited. Why not? Well, if I get called by 6-5, I guess that was a value jam. It makes it a bad shove, though. I thought I was going to fold, make a lot of hands like that. Fold, I guess I see now he's played 83% of hands. Okay, we'll get it in with King Jack up against King 8. That is very good shape to be in. Easy lots. You've got one, but two bluffs through and $1.65 BB. Game is booming. Players are learning. Players know the ranges, even in the micros. I can't tell what you mean exactly. Chris Mayer, it depends how tough the games you're playing are. But honestly, if you're playing in tough games, you probably want a more robust strategy. And if you're playing in soft games, I would say just bet whatever size you want. And I know that there are games in between that it's not that simple and not that black and white, but I don't know. I would hate to restrict myself from like making a cheap bluff in a spot where I think my opponent doesn't have anything half the time, but the other half the time he's got top pair. So you don't want to make a big bluff in that case, for example. the nuts with 9-8. Let's start by betting. Actually, might check the turn. James asks, is it more satisfying to be recognized as a great poker player or a great poker coach? Does the recognition matter more to Phil today? I don't really care for either recognition anymore. When I was, well, let me take that back. I very much used to care about being recognized as a great player. I don't so much anymore. As far as a coach, in the past that was less important to me, and in some ways it's still not super important to me. But if it is by somebody that I've coached, by somebody I've helped, then it's very like that's extremely rewarding to have somebody tell me like how much I've impacted them as a coach. So I would say that's the most important to me right now, or the most impactful or meaningful. Actually, I'll hop in the $1 and kick it off right away. EKW, just I mean that you're having fun in chat, but also it sounds like based on your chat, you are someone who's unraveling a little bit in the game right now. So I would advise a 10-minute break, hang out, watch the stream a little bit, think about what you want to focus on the rest of the session. Shove King 5 offsuit here with the 6 of hearts. I just think he has it. Nice hand, nice hand. Against the limp, I think I could shove King 6 off. All right, we get it in good, kind of. It's flipping, really. KW beat me to the sitting out. I didn't recommend the another beer part, but we're at least somewhat on the same page. Lose that one. Wanted to open another cube. Nick H. Good question. What's a non-poker book I would recommend any poker player? Unfortunately, my only recently started reading. I know it sounds silly at age I'm still 39 for a little bit longer. So in my late 30s, I finally started reading, and I haven't read that many books as an adult. So would I recommend any for a poker player? I'm not sure. None come to mind. Sorry for the lame answer. Raise, raise. I guess I'm gonna fold. I'm just curious about this one. It's cheap. I threw it at 5. Okay. Ace nine of diamonds looking okay. Fortunately, not in my hands anymore. Rip this in. Pick up the 80 out there, or get called and be 30% equity to win the hand, or much bigger than 30% equity. There we go. Yeah, not bad. Go check the side this river. Matt Kump, did you go busto? I'm sure you'll win it back. Don't worry. Thank you. Yeah, it's been rough. Been a rough go of it. Here we go. Let's get it all back in this cube right here. The $1 sit and go. $2. Halfway there. Matt says, JK, love your content. I've been grinding PLO the last year and made 12 big blinds per hour over close to 1,000 hours. That's awesome. 12 big blinds per hour. It's a really good win rate. I'm assuming maybe you're talking live, which means your big blinds per 100 is like in the 30s, which means you're not going to go on many downswings if that's your true win rate. So well done. Well done. Subsentence farm. I remember seeing a video of your apartment where the board game Wits and Wagers was sitting out. Is that a game you played much? Man, what video was that and how long ago? That must have been I mean, was that like 12, 15 years ago? Um, I remember it. I didn't play it that much. As we lose the $10. Second place, 10. We got a rebate. It glitched. Freddie says, I claim my mental game is top notch. Like I don't play worse after taking multiple bad beats, but I breathe heavy and it can't be good for me. I think everybody plays differently when losing, and a lot of people play worse when losing. So even if you think you're not, it could be that your perception is off. And so give that some consideration. Keep an open mind. Nick H says it's tough. The feeling of spiraling in poker is unlike many other things I've experienced in my day to day. I wonder what mechanisms and practices might be best to address it. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into poker mental game, and it is just hugely important because it is such a. I mean, it's just such a big part of poker. Poker is so inherently swingy, and really, your mind plays tricks on you. Your mind and your body are impacted by the swings. And as far as tactics, I mean, it's hard to give a succinct answer, but as it goes, jam, jam. We have 3-1. I mean, I'm going to call. If nobody has a flush draw, I definitely have odds by a lot. Cool, good shape. Got him. That was how I was planning on winning with the backdoor straight. So we've been running good today and winning the sit and goes, but we have not been running good in what we open. It's kind of the opposite in past days. Hop on in, play a sit and go with me. Ones, fives, tens. I guess I've been I've been winning a lot of them, so some people probably are quitting. Um, Doyle Smith, Esquire. I'm glad you were here to enjoy the stream, and I'm glad you're enjoying it. This was a misclick because I was reading your message, so I went 90, 150 cold call, and now we're going to be committed. Committed's not the way I would like to put it usually, but we just have a good enough hand now. We got check called by the ace nine, and we lose. Another. So we're sitting at we're sitting at two $1. We're sitting at a 1, a 5, and a 10. Let's do that. James asked if I study solvers more or less since my NAV heads up. The two of you ever meet in person. It was up to Washington, introduced me to PLO. What a game. Nice. I would say, I mean, yeah, like preparing for that match was the very beginning of my solver study. So I've studied a lot since then, but in the like the time leading up to that match, I studied more per day or per week than I have since. As my game's gotten a lot more, well, less solvery, I guess. But no, we've never met in person. We communicated a lot, like text. I don't think I ever even spoke to him on the phone. Maybe I did one. I don't know. But yeah, he seems like an awesome guy. Um, and just, I mean, what a match. The way it all went down. What a match to start with, or just what a match in general. Evaluate poker. Yeah, I think I haven't been streaming regularly, and so viewership hasn't been. I was actually surprised because, like, at first I was like, well, I guess I'm not streaming very high stakes. So, wow, what a lucky river for me with Jack 8. Second nuts on the turn, and I was dead. Um, at first I was like, well, I'm not streaming very high stakes, so that must be why not a lot of people are watching compared to usual. But then I realized that, like, when we launched Run It Once Poker 10 years ago, 10 years ago, wow, 5 years ago, um, I was also streaming similar stakes, and there were, I don't know, 5 times, 10 times as many viewers, depending on 5 to 8. So I don't actually know what it is. I'm just less cool than I used to be, I suppose. But yeah, it could be that I've been kind of off social media lately. I have not been streaming lately. My YouTube, like Twitch, YouTube, I have not I mean, I built up a channel and I've been building up a subscribership or a subscriber base, but as in the last few months, I haven't been posting much. But I'm not really sure what it is, to be perfectly honest with you. Doyle asked if I could sit and have lunch and talk poker once a week for a year with anyone living or dead. I mean, I guess I'd be very curious to talk poker with Stu Unger. I I only know him by reputation. I would imagine it might be hard to learn a lot from him because it seemed like he was such a field player and like just read people's souls. Um, but I don't know who else I would pick. That's what I'm going with. Eights, we're not going anywhere. Let's just put it in now. Way ahead. Yeah, Substance. That was a long time ago. Any other board games? I don't play that many board games. I do like board games, but I just don't have time to play them. My son is almost 6, and we do play like some kid board games. But my niece is 12, and so I will play like she's into more serious board games. Like so, I guess I like playing like Ticket to Ride, and we recently started playing Risk, um, and I like that. I like both of those. Um, but I don't play board games with friends these days. So it's just with kids. My all-time favorite poker format is heads up anything. I mean, that's not entirely, but like heads up PLO, heads up Milliman Hold'em, those really. I guess heads up PLO. King needs some help. Did not get there. Nines, that's going in. Kevin, how's it going? Welcome. That says 2-5 live PLO. Not sure big line per 100, maybe close to 40 to 50. It's a very slow game. LOL, really soft small. Yeah, I mean, like that's a massive. What's going on here? 35 chips left. It's just a massive win rate as I get min raised here. And yeah, swings are going to be close to non-existent, or I mean, as close as you can get in poker. And I think that's as everybody's talking about, kind of handling the swings and mental game. I think one thing that's highly underrated is a lot of people want to move up in stakes and play bigger and bigger and max their hourly rate. But that's in practice. In theory, sorry, that's in theory. In practice, so I was having this conversation with students just today, um, um, and one who's going on a downswing is playing bigger than he ever has, and it's not going well. And but the games are really good, but it's been an emotional struggle. And when you play much bigger, you're going to encounter more emotional swings. The even just naturally, but like you might play with more fear. Also, the swings are going to impact you more. Also, the swings are going to happen more often because when you're playing lower with a higher win rate, the swings happen really infrequently, and they're for much smaller dollar amounts. There's a lot of hidden EV to be found in playing smaller, where because what happens when you play bigger is essentially there's a lot of hidden negative EV. So there's the hidden negative EV of, okay, I played and now I had to take a week off because I'm so tilted, or I played and then I got tilted and I like played terribly, gave a lot of money back. There's the I'm playing scared. There are a lot of reasons that like, moving up in stakes, even though you think your theoretical earn is going to be higher, there's a lot of reasons why practice won't match theory. And so I think playing smaller is highly underrated and can often be the best EV strategy, not just the best bankroll management strategy, but the best overall EV strategy because of the impact on everything else in your game and life for that matter. All right, we made it to the orange. 4x, we'll take it. Sorry, $10. I just keep crushing these thingos. I feel like I'm winning half of these. Am I misjudging it? I don't want to be winning half, but I also do want to open cubes because I want to on stream get a huge multiplier because it'll make a good clip. help promote the site. Um, so I guess I do want to win them, but I also don't want to take everybody's money. JD asks, yeah, Lisi, Benny V is a good follow, whatever platform. And I heard he's been streaming. I haven't caught those streams either, but that's, I mean, what an opportunity to be able to watch him. JD, what are my recommendations playing poker after a long break? In the past, haven't played well after taking a substantial time off, and it takes a couple weeks to cut down on the mistakes. Yeah, people have different experiences. I actually tend to play well after time off because I'm like hyped about playing. And I know others who like that, and I know others who play really badly at first. Um, so knowing yourself is step one, which it sounds like you do. So that's awesome. Well done. It also, I guess the question is just like, what can you, a couple weeks to cut down the mistakes. Can you start back playing smaller so that the mistakes, while you're making those mistakes, before you cut down on those mistakes, it's not costing you as much? A bad beat to chop up there. That's the first thing I would say. I'm going to play more live tourneys in 2025. It would be hard to play fewer than in 2024, so probably, but no big plans yet. I think about it. I mean, every summer people try to convince me to play a bunch of WSOP events, so we'll see if they win this time. Opening the cube. 5, 6. I'm sitting out. All right, then we're both going to sit out. Um, Evaluate. It feels to me you gave up so much to the community that at least a lot of the hardcore players should feel, well, let's find something useful in your semi-podcast. Oh, okay. You're talking about the stream traffic. Yeah, I don't know, but I appreciate it. Phil's waiting for him to get old enough to play some Settlers 10. Yeah, I I am. Okay, he's back. Thanks, Alonzo. King 8, I think we can shove here. $1, $1, $5, $10, $5. A cribbage board. I've never played cribbage. Is it fun? Psycho Puffy Bunny. Yeah, I streamed MTTs yesterday. We're in one state here with BetRivers Poker, just Pennsylvania. And we just launched 10 days ago. So the prize pool is the MTT schedule is not that robust yet. There's a lot of overlay. So if you're trying to make money at low to mid stakes MTTs, it's a great place to be. But if you're trying to win huge prize pools, then right now, like it's not great for streaming for that purpose. But I would highly recommend it if you're just trying to make some money, as there's a fair bit of overlaying. There's a lot of giveaways, free rolls, cent rolls. There's just a lot of value to be had. Nick H, I'm glad you found that helpful on the hidden EV. Ace King suited. We probably should just min raise the suited variety, but whatever. It's all kind of the same. Fold 6, 5. King Queen suited. We'll be going with. Opening another cube. I gotta stop winning these. I gotta stop winning them unless I'm gonna, you know, bank a big one. Jack 10, we call. So I'm actually, let's move in Jack 10. Switch to table. Oh, third place. As we try to wrap this one up, I'm actually going to wrap up the stream. The It's planning to go for another like 20 minutes from now, but I'm just exhausted from a lot of streaming and not a lot of sleeping, and a lot of calls. My first meeting was 8:10. My first meeting was remember now, 9 a.m., 10 a.m. I don't know, 10 hours ago or something. No, more than that. I don't know, 10 and a half hours ago or something. And there would have been no breaks. So I'm going to call it quits. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate you supporting the stream. And for anybody who's played on BetRivers Poker while I've been streaming, while I haven't, I really appreciate you too, because as I said, I'm really, really trying to make hey, good way to finish with a little glitch. I'm really trying to make a difference in online poker. I really want this experiment to work, and we don't have that long to make it work. And so, if you can help me make it work in the near future, during this 3-month period, it's going to be better for poker players, not only in all the regulated markets, but I think eventually everywhere. If we can prove this system works in the US, then why wouldn't it work elsewhere, you know? So yeah, appreciate you all as always, and thank you for the questions. Got a lot of great questions today, which was awesome for me, and hope you found some of the answers helpful. Hope you enjoyed some of the sporadic fast and furious play that it's kind of just clicking buttons. And I will see you when I see you. Until then, take care and good luck.